In the next 10 minutes, I'll show you 8 ordinary foods that turn ice-cold feet warm again. Starting in 30 seconds. Cold feet are far more than just a minor discomfort, especially as we get older. For those of us over 60, this symptom can be persistent, distracting, and truly disruptive to sleep and daily life. It's important to understand the specific ways this common issue shows up because recognizing the details is the first step toward feeling better. Many people describe the sensation as simply being chilled, but for older adults, the experience is often more complex and intense. You might feel a persistent, icy sensation where the feet seem cold even when the rest of your body is warm, even with thick socks. It's not a quick chill. It's a deep, penetrating coldness that seems to reach into the bones. Along with this, you might notice color changes. The skin on your feet or toes may look much paler than the rest of your body. Sometimes they can even take on a bluish or purplish tint, especially the tips of the toes. This is often the body giving you a visual clue that blood flow is struggling. You might also notice numbness or tingling. This is that pins and needles sensation, or a mild to moderate numbness. Your feet might feel heavy or the skin might feel thick, making it hard to feel the ground clearly when you walk. When circulation is poor, the muscles and nerves don't get enough of what they need, and this can lead to pain or cramping. You might feel a deep, aching pain, often in the calves or the arch of the foot, especially after walking for even a short distance. This kind of pain is often relieved simply by resting. Finally, because poor circulation struggles to deliver nutrients and moisture, the skin on your feet can become unusually dry, brittle, and prone to cracking or developing minor little sores that take forever to heal. These symptoms often feel much worse at night. Cold feet are notorious for interrupting sleep because, as the body prepares for rest, the core temperature drops, and the blood vessels in the extremities naturally narrow slightly, making that cold sensation much more pronounced and making it nearly impossible to drift off. The cold also worsens during inactivity. Sitting for long periods, maybe watching television or reading, can lead to a significant drop in foot temperature because there's no muscle movement to actively push the blood and generate warmth. Even mild air conditioning or a slight draft can trigger an immediate and intense cold feeling in the feet. Recognizing these specific patterns is key. They signal that the coldness is likely rooted in an underlying change in how your body manages blood flow and nerve signaling as we age. Stick with me, because next we're going to break down the surprisingly simple reasons this happens and why these 8 foods are so powerful. Understanding the cause of cold feet is so important for finding the right solution. In seniors over 60, this symptom is usually a direct result of simple changes in the body's flow and communication systems. It's really less about the air temperature and much more about your internal temperature regulation. The most frequent and significant cause is reduced circulation, which is the blood flow problem. Over time, the blood vessels, particularly the arteries, can lose some of their stretchiness and become a little narrower. This is often due to the buildup of plaque, a fatty, waxy substance, on the inner walls of the arteries. Think of it like a pipe getting clogged. When the arteries leading to the legs and feet are narrowed, less warm, oxygen-rich blood can reach the extremities. Your feet, being the furthest point from your heart, are always the first to feel this effect. Also, as we age, the heart muscle may not pump blood with the exact same forceful efficiency as it once did. A slightly less forceful pump means the pressure to push blood all the way down to the feet is reduced, leading to cooler temperatures there. The second major cause is nerve damage, the signaling problem. The nerves in your feet are responsible for relaying sensory information, including the feeling of temperature, back to your brain. They also control the tiny muscles in your blood vessel walls that tell them to open or close. Damage to these nerves, often called peripheral neuropathy, affects the feet and hands first. The most common cause is diabetes, but it can also result from vitamin deficiencies or other health issues. When the nerves are damaged, they may send confusing signals. They might signal the blood vessels to stay narrow even when the feet are cold, or they might simply misfire, making your brain perceive coldness even if the physical temperature of the foot isn't actually that low. This is why the cold sensation can feel so real and intense. Finally, we have metabolic slowdown and hormonal changes. Your body's overall internal furnace, your metabolism, naturally slows down a bit as we age. The thyroid gland acts like the body's master thermostat. It produces hormones that regulate metabolism and body temperature. An underactive thyroid, which is common in older adults, can make you more sensitive to cold, which often concentrates in the hands and feet. Also, low iron levels, known as anemia, mean you have a reduced ability to transport oxygen efficiently throughout your body, leading to less overall warmth and energy, and often showing up as cold hands and feet. Understanding these three causes helps us focus on solutions that improve circulation, nerve health, and metabolism, which is exactly what our 8 foods target. In just a moment, we will reveal the first food that starts working on your circulation by cleaning your arteries. The foods we eat are powerful tools. They contain specific compounds, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that can directly influence blood flow, nerve health, and internal temperature regulation. These are not miracle cures, but consistent consumption can make a measurable difference in the warmth and comfort of your feet. The first food is cayenne pepper, the circulation booster. The power compound here is capsaicin, the substance that gives chili peppers their heat. When you consume it, it temporarily relaxes the blood vessels throughout the body. This opens up the channels, allowing more blood to flow freely, especially to the tiny vessels in the feet. More blood flow means more warmth. Start small. Sprinkle a pinch of powdered cayenne pepper into your morning oatmeal, soup, or even mix a tiny bit into your hot chocolate or a glass of warm lemon water. Next, we have ginger, the internal fire starter. The key compounds are gingerol and shogaol. Ginger has been used for centuries to promote warmth. These compounds are potent thermogenic agents, meaning they stimulate heat production in the body, primarily by stimulating blood flow. They also have anti-inflammatory properties that can help soothe general circulatory inflammation. To use it, make a simple ginger tea by steeping 3 to 5 thin slices of fresh peeled ginger root in hot water for 10 minutes. The third food is fatty fish, the vessel lubricator. The power here is omega-3 fatty acids like EPA and DHA. Omega-3s are one of the best foods for your heart and vessels. They help keep the inner walls of the arteries smooth, flexible, and less likely to develop plaque. By improving the overall flexibility and function of the blood vessels, they ensure blood can pump through those narrow vessels more efficiently, improving flow to the extremities. Eat cold water fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines 2 to 3 times per week. Fourth are beets, the nitric oxide generator. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, which your body converts into something called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a powerful natural compound that signals the smooth muscles surrounding your blood vessels to relax, widening the vessels. This widening effect is key for improving blood flow directly to your feet and toes. Roast beets and add them to salads or incorporate them into a daily smoothie. The next food on our list is a household staple that is critical for nerve health, which is essential if you experience numbness or tingling with your cold feet. Fifth, let's talk about oats, the steady energy supplier. Oats, particularly plain rolled oats, are a complex carbohydrate and a great source of fiber. They help stabilize your blood sugar levels. Wild blood sugar swings are a major contributor to the nerve damage, or neuropathy, that can cause cold feet. Steady blood sugar protects nerve health, and the fiber also helps keep your metabolism stable. Just enjoy a bowl of plain oatmeal for breakfast, avoiding the sugary instant packets. Sixth is turmeric, the anti-inflammatory flow enhancer. The main compound is curcumin. Turmeric is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatories available. Chronic, low-level inflammation can damage the inner lining of blood vessels, which in turn restricts blood flow. Curcumin helps reduce this inflammation, allowing the vessels to remain open and flexible, improving overall circulation. Mix a teaspoon of turmeric powder into a warm glass of milk or non-dairy substitute. Always combine it with a tiny pinch of black pepper, as the pepper dramatically increases how well your body absorbs the curcumin. The seventh food is dark chocolate, the flavanol powerhouse. High-quality dark chocolate, aiming for 70% cocoa or higher, is rich in powerful antioxidants called flavanols. These compounds have been shown to stimulate the production of nitric oxide, just like beets. This encourages widespread opening of the vessels, improving blood flow and reducing blood pressure, both of which contribute to warmer extremities. Enjoy 1 or 2 small squares of 70% or higher dark chocolate each day. Remember, this is dark chocolate, not a sugary milk chocolate bar, which will negate the benefits. Finally, the eighth food is Brazil nuts, the thyroid regulator. The key compound is selenium. Your thyroid gland is your body's thermostat, and it absolutely requires the mineral selenium to properly convert its hormones into the active form that regulates your metabolism and body temperature. Brazil nuts are, by far, the most concentrated natural source of selenium. Supporting the thyroid is a systemic way to raise the body's internal temperature, which directly warms the extremities. You only need 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day. Eating more than 2 can lead to an excess of selenium, so moderation is key here. We've covered the power foods. Next, we'll move on to a few simple habits you can combine with these foods for maximum warmth, including a surprising technique for your bed sheets. While optimizing your diet is paramount, combining the right foods with simple daily habits can dramatically amplify the warming effect. These practices are designed to physically stimulate circulation and enhance your body's natural heat generation. The first habit is active foot movement, the muscle pump. Your calf muscles are often called your second heart because they play a crucial role in pumping deoxygenated blood back up to the heart. Inactivity causes this pump to stall. When you're sitting, keep your feet flat, then lift your toes toward the ceiling while keeping your heels grounded. Then, lower your toes and lift your heels as high as possible. Repeat this back and forth motion 10 to 15 times every hour. This simple movement contracts the calf and foot muscles, pushing blood forward. Also, when you're sitting or lying down, consciously wiggle and curl your toes for 30 seconds at a time. The second habit is the power of contrast baths, the vessel workout. This technique is a powerful way to train your blood vessels to open and close more efficiently. Fill one basin with comfortably warm but not scalding water and another with cold water. Submerge your feet in the warm water for 3 minutes. Immediately switch your feet to the cold water for 1 minute. Repeat this sequence 3 times, always ending with the warm water. This rapid change forces the vessels to constrict in the cold and then dramatically relax and open in the warm, giving them a much-needed workout. The third is hydration and warming beverages. The thickness of your blood affects how easily it can flow. Dehydration leads to thicker blood, which is harder for the heart to pump. Ensure you are drinking enough water throughout the day. Also, regularly sipping warm beverages, especially ginger or cayenne-infused teas, helps to warm your core temperature, which in turn encourages your whole body to open up its vessels. Finally, let's talk about clothing and footwear choices. Avoid tight socks. Socks that are too tight, especially around the ankle or calf, can actually restrict the circulation you're trying to promote. Choose non-binding, loose-fitting thermal socks. And for night, use the surprising sheet trick. Before getting into bed, place a hot water bottle or a warmed wheat bag between your sheets, near the foot of the bed, for 15 minutes. This creates a warm microclimate for your feet, preventing the intense temperature drop that often disrupts your sleep. The next section is the most important: safety. You must know when cold feet are a warning sign that requires a doctor's visit, so don't skip this. While dietary and lifestyle adjustments can be highly effective, it is absolutely crucial for seniors to understand that persistent cold feet can be a sign of a serious underlying medical condition. It is a symptom, not just an inconvenience. You should schedule an appointment with your primary care physician or a specialist if you experience any of the following: a sudden onset of severe coldness. If one or both feet suddenly become intensely cold, pale, or blue, or if you experience sudden severe leg pain, this can be a medical emergency and requires immediate attention. It could indicate a severe blockage in an artery. Also, watch for unexplained, non-healing sores or ulcers. Due to poor circulation, even minor cuts or blisters on the feet can take an unusually long time to heal. If a wound doesn't show signs of improvement within a week, it needs professional medical care, especially if you have diabetes. If the numbness is spreading or the pain, especially cramping in the calf when walking, becomes significantly worse, that is worsening numbness and pain and could signal advancing circulation or nerve problems. If one foot is consistently much colder than the other, this suggests a localized circulation issue on that side which needs to be investigated. Finally, if cold feet are accompanied by unexplained weight changes, fatigue, hair loss on the legs, or severe dry skin, this is concurrent symptoms that could indicate a thyroid issue or another systemic problem that requires a diagnosis. Be cautious when adding new supplements or significantly increasing your intake of certain foods, particularly if you are on medication. If you take blood thinners, high doses of omega-3 fatty acids from supplements, and large amounts of ginger or turmeric can have mild blood thinning effects. While dietary amounts are usually safe, discuss new high-dose supplements with your doctor. If you take blood pressure medications, foods high in nitrates, like beets, and supplements that boost nitric oxide can lower blood pressure. If you are already taking medication for hypertension, this combination could potentially drop your blood pressure too low. Always inform your doctor about all supplements, vitamins, and regular herbal teas you consume. We are now coming to the final few minutes. I'm going to quickly summarize the plan for you, making it easy to remember. We've covered the key symptoms, the causes rooted in aging circulation and nerve health, the 8 powerful warming foods, and the best supporting habits. Here is your quick reference plan for warming up your feet starting tonight. The focus is systematically addressing reduced circulation, nerve health, and low internal metabolism. The 8 warming foods are cayenne pepper for immediate vessel opening, ginger for internal heat generation, fatty fish for flexible, smooth artery walls, beets for relaxing the vessels, oats for stable blood sugar and nerve protection, turmeric for reducing circulation-harming inflammation, dark chocolate for another blood flow boost, and Brazil nuts for regulating the body's thermostat. Your key daily habits are to move your feet by performing ankle pumps and toe wiggles for a minute every hour to engage your second heart. Do the contrast baths using the warm, cold water cycling technique to train your blood vessels. For a good night's sleep, use the nighttime prep trick of placing a hot water bottle near your feet in bed 15 minutes before you lie down to prevent the initial chill. And always stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water throughout the day to keep your blood flowing smoothly. By integrating these specific foods and simple habits, you are not just treating a symptom. You are actively strengthening your cardiovascular system, supporting your nerve health, and regulating your internal temperature control. This is a path to greater comfort, better sleep, and improved well-being as you age. Our final point is your action step: how to test this protocol out and see results quickly. I encourage you to try incorporating just 3 of these 8 foods into your diet over the next week. Choose the ones that are easiest for you to access and consume regularly. For example, you could start your day with oatmeal topped with a pinch of cayenne pepper, drink ginger tea in the afternoon, and eat one Brazil nut with your lunch. And please commit to the ankle pump exercise every time you sit down to watch television. Monitor your feet temperature every evening. Note the difference in the sensation you feel compared to how you felt before starting this protocol. This is about making small, sustainable changes that lead to measurable, lasting warmth. Comment which food warmed your feet the fastest.